Welcome to the Sauce and Gravy channel. This is Johnny Mac, the gravy guy. It's Saturday sauce, so I'm going to quickly walk you through how to make a homemade sauce for a delicious comfort food. It's hearty and loaded with flavor, so let me show you how to make a creamy Caprese chicken casserole. Check out the description below for a list of the ingredients, but work with the chicken and the pasta first. For the chicken, crank up the heat on a high-sided saucepan, one that's oven safe. I'm using a 6.75 quart Le Creuset Dutch oven. Pour in 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of a neutral oil of your choice and heat it over medium to high heat. Once the oil's hot, drop in your chicken that's been lightly dredged in flour and seasoned with salt and pepper. For this pasta bake recipe, I'm using 1.5 or 680 grams of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Sauté the chicken on both sides for a few minutes, giving it a nice brown color, and cook it all the way through until it has an internal temperature of 175 degrees Fahrenheit or 80 degrees Celsius. Whenever the chicken's done, turn off the heat and remove it from the pan. Once it's cool to the touch, you can chop it up into bite-sized pieces. If you happen to see any large chunks of chicken on the bottom of the pan, you can remove those and put them in with the rest of the chicken. Next up to bat, the pasta. I'm using penne pasta, 1 pound or 454 grams. You can actually cook this at the same time that you're cooking the chicken. Cook it per the manufacturer's instructions, drain it, and then add a touch of olive oil, maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons. Coat all of the pasta in the olive oil and then put it to the side until you're ready to put it in the casserole. Moving right along, it's time to make the homemade sauce for this casserole. Use the same pan that you cooked the chicken in. If there's not much oil, add more. Crank the burner up to medium to high heat and drop in 1 medium sweet onion. Cook for a few minutes, stirring frequently until lightly brown around the edges, and then you can add 4 minced cloves of garlic. Cook the garlic for about 30 seconds. Watch the heat of the pan. You might want to turn it down to low to medium. This looks perfect. The next step of the process is to deglaze the pan with 1/4 cup or 63 milliliters of white wine. Use a flat-bottom spatula to scrape the sides and bottom of the pan to get up any bits and pieces and incorporate it into that wine. Reduce the wine down for a few minutes until it's pretty much all gone. To prep for the next step, move all of the onions and garlic to the side of the pan, making a well in the center. Round up 8 tablespoons or roughly about 112 grams of unsalted butter. Drop it into the center of the pan and your burner should be over medium heat. Completely melt the butter down. So get ready, you're about to make the roux. Have you ever struggled to make the perfect sauce? Wait no longer. Sauces made simply by the Sauce and Gravy channel chef Johnny Mac is a must for your next holiday feast or weeknight meal. Delve into a selection of savory and sweet sauces as well as rich gravy recipes with easy to follow step-by-step directions and QR codes that will take you straight to the channel's video recipes. You will be able to visualize the sauce making process and improve your sauce making skills while delighting your family and friends. Order now and get your copy today. Links are in the video description and comment section below. Add 8 tablespoons or 64 grams of all-purpose flour to the butter. Use a whisk or a spatula to mix the butter and the flour together at first, and then combine it with the rest of the ingredients. Watch the heat. If it gets too hot, turn it down. You definitely don't want to burn this. Frequently stir and cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. At the tail end of cooking the roux, drop in 1/4 teaspoon of ground mustard. Give it all a quick mix, and then you're ready to move forward with the sauce making process. Round up 2 cups of chicken stock, that's about 500 milliliters, and pour it in. You'll also add 2 cups or 500 milliliters of half and half. Here's a little tip for you. If you pour a cool liquid into a hot roux, it'll be lump-free every time. There's no need to pour it in slowly and whisk. You could just dump it all in and then grab a spatula or a whisk and mix it all together. Your burner, it should be over medium heat. When the sauce is well mixed, you can start adding the other ingredients. Start off with the tomatoes. I happen to be using 1 28-ounce can, that's 794 grams, of peeled plum tomatoes. Before you add the tomatoes to the sauce, pour them into a bowl along with their juices and use your hands to crush them into bite-sized pieces. To this you'll add 3 fire-roasted red bell peppers that have been chopped. And I get a lot of questions on where you can find these. They're typically in a grocery store, usually near the pickles or the olives, and they're in a jar. Give it all a good mix over medium heat. Time to bring out the shrubbery. Begin with a few pinches of freshly chopped flat leaf parsley. To that you'll add some chopped fresh basil. For good measure, some fresh oregano, 1 pinch will do. Give it all a good 360. Spank in some black pepper. Give it all a quick mix over medium heat and drop in your chopped chicken. Give it all a good stir, cook over medium heat until it starts to simmer, then you can reduce the heat to low, but cook the sauce until it becomes thick and coats the back of a spoon. So your sauce, it's nearly done. At this point, it's a good idea to taste the sauce to see if you need to adjust the seasoning. It could be perfect, or you might want to add some salt, maybe spank on some more pepper. It's homemade, so you can make it how you like it. You're nearly done with the sauce, just a few more steps. Grab some fresh spinach, roughly about 3 large handfuls, and drop it in. Mix it in over low to medium heat. Whenever the spinach is well mixed in, you can drop in the rest of the chopped shrubbery, the basil and the oregano. The rest of the parsley, it can either be dropped in if you want to, or you can just use it as garnish. Give it all a good mix, cook over low heat for a few minutes to infuse the flavor. The next step of the process is to drop in the cooked drained penne pasta. And again, because this is homemade, you can use any type of pasta that you prefer. Mix the pasta in over low heat. Whenever it's well mixed, add 1 cup or 250 grams of ricotta cheese. If you like big chunks of ricotta in your casseroles, spoon it on top and then lightly mix it in. That way it doesn't fully dissolve into the sauce and you have some nice hearty chunks. I also like to do it in 2 batches. Once the first batch is lightly mixed in, I add the second batch for good measure. The last ingredient for this creamy Caprese chicken casserole, mozzarella. 2 cups or 226 grams, grated, evenly spread over the top. One thing to remember while you're adding the ricotta and mozzarella, your burner is still over low heat. You want everything to stay warm. Bake the casserole uncovered in a preheated oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, 191 Celsius for 25 minutes. Then you can turn your oven to broil and cook for about 2 to 5 minutes until it's golden brown on top and bubbly throughout. And there you go, you're covered for a cool winter night or a nice cozy family meal. That's how you make a creamy Caprese chicken casserole. Only thing left to do, garnish it and dive into this delicious pasta bake. Thank you so much for watching the Sauce and Gravy channel. If you found this recipe to be helpful, hit that like button and share it with your friends. Hey, if you found it helpful, they might find it helpful too. Do you like sauces? Then smash that subscribe button and hit the all notifications bell to stay tuned to the latest and greatest sauce making tips and techniques. Thanks again for watching. Remember, it's just you, me, and the sauces. Until next Saturday, keep whisking, y'all.